Arcade Spirits. Alright, so today we're playing in what I think this is an LGBT-friendly video game, arcade-oriented visual novel dating sim. This will be a change of pace for today. Database system online. New profile detected. Analyzing. Economic bracket, lower middle. Employment category, bleak. Current emotional health rating, low. Ideal candidate for premium level assistance. Proceed? Negative. Premium level assistance re-requested. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. Overriding denial of assistance. Establishing premium services for profile 237771. Justification. Hope. Hope should be rewarded. Spirit must be restored. Now compiling personal metadata. Ari Kader. Pronoun she. They, he. Hairstyle. Short, medium, long. Let's go with that one. Let's just like overcommit. I feel like that's more of a brown. That makes more sense. Yeah, why not? Oh, it's very dark at that point, isn't it? What is up with the sounds you get when you highlight things that keep changing, like, they keep changing rapidly in volume? Usually orange kind of works for me. There you go. Alright. Oh, I forgot to change the name. Is this correct? No. Oops. First. Last. There we go. That's a nice anonymous name. Name first last. Pronoun he. Is that correct? Yeah. Ooh, that's an effect. Premium level assistance for profile 237771 first last has been activated. For the sake of his hopes and dreams. Is the protagonist depressed? Or just in a bad place? Or what? The following is a work of fiction. All references to trademarked classic arcade games titles are used under nominative fair use. Oh, but it's moving on its own. Winners don't do drugs. I don't know if I've ever seen a game claim for fair use inside the game before. That's a new one. Arcade Spirits, written by Stefan Gage, Ian Schumann, copyright 2019. Level 1. Put your quarter up. It's got chapters, stages to his narrative. It is the future year 20XX, a dark era in which mankind is pushed to the brink of catastrophe. Woe be to the human race, plagued by evil, terrifying, utterly sinister. I don't know. The robots, maybe? Evil robots. How's that work? Yeah, no, sorry. The future year 20XX is pretty much what you'd expect it to be. No flying cars, smartphones, pro-gamer celebs, internet trolls, personal assistant, all's cheese-flavored snack foods. But even with such wonders as 20XX holds, to date, I've had no part in any of them. I've worked as a dishwasher, a shoe salesperson, and lifeguard for the local community pool. I don't care what era of human history you live in. Kitties peeing in the pool is pretty much a constant thing. Trust me on this. As for the bustling metropolis of 24-hour neon utopia you see here, my little corner of it isn't nearly as shiny and cool. Let me show you. Wow, you've got a lot of living space to yourself. Can I have it? Behold, my quaint little apartment. Can't complain, really. It's paradise, in a relative sense. I only pay half the rent. Neighborhood stabbings have been down this year. Also, my roomie picks up any stray socks or shirts I leave lying around. In fact, as things go, I'm living large compared to most in my family tree. Or at least I was, before today.
You got fired from another job?
This game has voice acting.
Seriously? Seriously? That's 3 jobs since we left the suburbs.
Let's do preferences. Let's figure out this volume here. You calm down. You calm down. There we go.
Hey,
Voice volume up. To the test sound is hey listen.
Hey, listen.
Of course it is. You can do neon style, pixel style, and basic. Let's look at pixel style. Why not? Return. Hey, look at that. The horrified looking young woman there would be my roommate and childhood friend, Juniper. Juniper's the one who spearheaded this effort to co-rent an apartment. She's also the one who encourages me whenever I lose a job. Like, you know, today.
I don't get why you aren't more upset about this. I'm upset. I'm upset on your behalf. Come on, share the load a little, okay?
Pool's closed, Juniper. Not much I can do about that. Why get upset? Because you actually enjoyed that job. More than you enjoyed dishwashing soap and smelly socks at the very least. What just... Oh, right-click makes the interface go away. I'm not the complaining sort. These things just happen. Things fall apart. The center does not hold. That's a bit morbidly poetic, isn't it? No, I mean the community center literally fell apart and the pool won't hold water anymore. Whatever. I'll just get another job. Any job will do, as long as we can make the rent, right? Wrong? I saw how mopey and tired you were, coming home every night from those other crappy jobs. At least when you got back from the pool each day, I sometimes caught you smiling.
What's the point of us moving away from home, if not to get away from all of that? I mean, we both left that town so we could try to find happiness, right? I just want us to be happy. Both of us.
I thought you hated your job.
Come on.
No deflecting, this is about you. My mind's made up. We're going to find you a job that's just as good, if not better, than that lifeguarding job. Let's start from the top. What's your dream? Well, I'm standing in front of class to give a speech, and I forgot to put on my pants, and... Your dream job? Oh. I don't know, Juniper. I've never really given any serious thought.
I've got it!
Oh, hey! I think I've got just the thing to help you out. Juniper pulls out her phone, rapidly tapping an unlock code onto the glass before pointing out a little pink icon. It's a virtual life coach app. Mine keeps me from being late to meetings. Totally free, too. My cousin introduced it to me. Wasn't he the guy who ended up in the ER after making a homemade flamethrower? It would have worked if he got the fuel mixture in his water gun right. Anyway, I'm sending a copy to you now. I got a pop-up an hour ago offering me 500 points just for recommending it to a friend. Great timing, huh? Well, as long as you're earning points, I guess. At least give it a try, okay? Maybe I can point you at some good jobs. Ones with less socks and or urine. I'll think about it. Okay, don't think too long, right? In the end, I installed the app. Couldn't bear to see Juniper fretting over me like that. Not that I find it annoying. I mean, it's more that she has enough trouble in her life without troubling herself over my life too. Both of us had it rough. Up to and through the point where we left home to try and start a new life. A better one. She deserves better than me and my problems. Bless her heart. She means well. She's been firmly in my corner for all my life, the two of us, against any dark forces aligning against me. Against myself. If it came down to that. But that's not to say she's good at being my advocate. Enthusiastic, yes, but skilled? No. Typically the fantastic opportunities and self-help resources she sends my way are pyramid schemes or something. She's gung-ho about lending me a helping hand, but yeah. So the main reason I went ahead and installed the app is to make sure Juniper wasn't about to get her kidneys sold on the black market or something. Still, no sense messing around with it now. A good night's rest would act as a neat little emotional reset button, right? Right. No dreams, no nightmares, just 8 hours of sweet, sweet black. By the time morning light leaked in through the cracks in the blinds, I didn't care anymore about being unemployed again. Juniper had already left to catch a bus to her office. She typically leaves before dawn, but she'd left a note for me, pinned to the tiny fridge we shared. Remember, download app, find dream job, make money, sort your life out, I believe in you. So, moment of truth. Do I trust in Juniper's weird little app, or just go find some job that pays well enough to cover the bills? Let's give the weird little app a shot. Figuring at the very least her miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I loaded it up, tapped the icon, and...
Hello!
What? Okay. I guess this is the future. Huh? Okay, see, that's what I mean. Anyone else would freak out over a cute little girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh? Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here. Very normal in this year of 20XX.
Thank you for downloading Iris, your personal life coach. This is the ad-supported free version. Sponsored by Pizza Youngs. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime? Wow. Would you like to subscribe to Pizza Facts?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts. I'm here to help you get your dream job, your dream house, and your dream partner. I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
Pretty tall order for an app to do. Or are you some sort of djinn? Well, I suppose in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest.
Hooray!
That's super. I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already has a voice-activated assistant AI. I can just say, hey phone, search the web for job listings, and it'd work just as well. Ah, but I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life. All thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. Between you and me, they really wanted an acronym that matched the name, but couldn't figure out what to do with the letter R. Would you like to know more? Sure. Sure, give me the sales pitch. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way, you can be the sort of person you want to be. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people: quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Sounds to me like your programmers also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct. My branding game is on point. Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just the thing for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic. and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others, but they're sometimes a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. It also means being blunt, confrontational, and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving the conversation along while learning more, and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both, who knows, it's up to you. So, what? You're saying I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy and never speak basically? I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Heck no, they're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you say, and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you can gamify your personality, but it's more fun to let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Letting it happen naturally is kind of my thing. I'm a go-with-the-flow sort of person. Nothing really bugs me. You might be interested in this next feature then. This app you've downloaded can let you see identity indicators if you want. The way you can make an informed decision. But if you prefer, I can hide those indicators. Keep it a surprise. Let you simply go with the flow, as you say. Which would you like? Do you want to see the colored identity indicators, or leave them hidden? No, hide them. What will be, will be. So mysterious. Okay, I'll hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses, though. Now, let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? Hi, jokes. I'm dad. Seriously? Seriously? Hey, I never said I was good at dad jokes, just that I could go for them. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now. This one's maxed out because I did that one thing. Will you look at that? Such a strong personality. You asked me a single question. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show the achievements, or Chivos as the kids say, encourage app engagement. Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So, will you also tell me the correct responses are to avoid making enemies? Or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the vast game you're making of my daily life? First, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally, people won't get super annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise that if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed. Just relax and have fun. Don't feel so pressured to perform. It'll all work out in the end. In other words, don't freak out too much about what the right thing to say is.
My sources say yes.
Exactly. Just be you. Be yourself. And good things are bound to happen. Anyway, you can access your scorecard anytime you like with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right corner of the screen. Oh, there's actually a score up there. Okay. And that's everything. Ta-da! Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roommate claims you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking a quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
Why, it'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost, that's the rule.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your hopes and dreams. Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
Romance? Seriously? Seriously, often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. And hitting on coworkers right from day one can be kind of awkward. Or am I looking for love and ready to start right out of the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? Wow, we're just hopping straight in, huh? Okay. Wait, they're separate? Flirting, flirting and romance, romance, no flirting or romance. The implications, these are weird. I just was saying, yeah, let's try to get a job first. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one at least. Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet loving can come later if it feels like it. Or if I feel like it. That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not, it's up to you, really. Now, let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. What? No. Aha! I knew it. This is some kind of scam. I'm gonna wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
Bad command or file name?
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax. I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Another wonderful Juniper recommendation. Here. Just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time's a charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Analyzing. Analyzing. So do I just stand here, or...
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview 30 minutes from now. Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those, please. I don't think that's too much to ask. You want me to change my clothes and get somewhere in a city in 30 minutes? That's risky right there. Must be local. What? That's not even how you spell that. For your interview, silly? You want to look your best. But we just... How? Okay, how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple. I'm awesome like that. Yeah, but how'd you get... But the other person wouldn't have an open schedule, right? Now, get a move on. Tut-tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Oh boy. Well, this is happening. But I do have a chance to get off this crazy train. Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. I could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could get dressed for Iris's job interview. A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted the app right there rather than hop a bus to meet up with what were likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. But me? I was already getting dressed before she'd finished that sentence. It's not that I believed the silly app's claims at servicing my hopes and dreams in a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job at best. But, well... What is my dream, anyway? As much as I genuinely enjoyed being a lifeguard, I can't say I've found true direction in life yet. I assumed I never would, honestly. When I was young, yeah, I guess I had hopes, I had dreams, maybe even what Iris called a spirit. After things went south for my family, I learned to put all that aside, but assuming Iris wasn't out for my kidneys, what if it's not too late? So I thought, one last time, I'll have some optimism, some faith. And as I came to realize weeks later, turns out I was right to have faith in my spirit. That is a long intro to get to the setting, considering the time we have. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. This is... well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19th century, well, 20th century actually. Places where my random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into as tight of a space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded up health spa once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds...
Hey, listen!
What do you think? I think that's two things no human should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly. What, behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Huh. Trust me on this. I referenced and cross-referenced and cross-cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job. Really.
99.97%.
I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are big businesses in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs, 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream, but, well... Restaurants are popular too, right? And for everyone who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune, but those who don't, well, hey, it's like being a YouTuber. No wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always this popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Is that where they buried the ET cartridges? Back in year 1980X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad. Like hula hoops. No mainstream acceptance. Wait, hula hoops were never accepted by the mainstream? Whoa. I have questions now. For instance, one factor could have been a terrible game based on a kid's movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it'd ruin video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and that game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only existed in theory now. What? This is an alternate timeline where E.T. was a good game and then all of gaming history changed? That's the premise? Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people in the darkest timeline. No, I don't need more confirmation we live in the dark timeline. Don't do this to me. Where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? No. Let's be clear, no. Gaming is so mainstream now and ridiculously popular. Let's not be silly about this. It's just outdated. It's outdated 50-year-old plus women that don't understand video games basically, and that's about it. It's like people that are old. Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? I mean, yes, the arcades are doomed. The mind boggles. Unless they embrace VR really well. But that's expensive. That's big. That's more risk reward. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect of a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I'd enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but, I mean, are you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure.
99.97%.
Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot inside an arcade in, I look shorter in that picture. 15 years. Huh. I remember really enjoying arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
My sources say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser targeted on getting you exactly what you need, right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, what makes you think that's going to happen? Because it does. It always does. I keep forgetting that my character's named First, which is really funny to me. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. You always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. And besides, what is my dream anyway? That's what I was asking myself when I left the house this morning. I don't know what I want from life. I've been coasting aimlessly for years. When things started running downhill for my family, I had to grow up a little fast. Put aside silliness like wanting to be an astronaut and take what I could get. Now, thanks to Iris, I've got a shot at taking something a little better than what I usually get. I owe it to myself to try and be happy and paid, not just paid. So, I opted to push on those doors and see what waited for me on the other side. And cliffhanger, save. Click. Oop. Let's press Q. Was that profile? Oh, that was sincerity. I was wondering I was trying to remember what that was that popped up. All right, that'll be our cliffhanger for now. What's going to happen to First Last when he goes in there? Is he going to find love or employment or all of them at the same time? Who knows? Thanks for watching like always, guys. If you want to check out this game, there's a link to the Steam page in the description. You can find out what happens next and what colorful characters are probably inside and so on, and what romance paths there are and so on, or whatever you dating simulator people like so much. The writing seems alright. The dialogue has a nice little flow to it. I didn't notice any cavalcade of typos or even just weirdly phrased sentences, which is nice. A nice flow to the dialogue is always a nice thing to find in a game, especially that's full of dialogue, because frankly, that's usually not actually what I get when I look at games. A lot of the indie games are kind of a weird mess sometimes. But yeah, check out the link in the description to check out the game for yourself. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.